Are you ready? Are you ready for some afternoon news time? Yes, we're back. I am Phil Chambers, and I am joined by the still incredibly bright Gareth Morgan.
Brighter. As the day goes on, I get brighter. What can I say?
For a quick bit of afternoon news, but before we get going, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below what you think of all of today's news stories, and click on the description for timestamps to each of today's stories. But what have we got first, Gareth?
Well, first up, we're going to talk a little bit about something that Rusev said to Ryback. I know that's probably not a sentence we thought we were going to say this weekend, but yeah, why not? He was talking on Ryback's podcast conversation, little thing that he does, and he was talking all about Vincent Kennedy McMahon. And there's been a lot of stories, obviously, since people have been leaving, they've been getting out, and they've been saying, oh, he's a madman, he said this to me, he said that to me. This is probably more in that vein, but I think it's worded in a way where he's just more baffled and like laughing at it more than anything. Yeah. He said in one particular interaction, this is him saying it from his own person, and he said, I'm thinking, what am I doing here? I give it one go, then a second go, and I said, Vince, we have sold out all of our merchandise. We are beating Roman, we are beating AJ. Out of context, that sounds odd. We are beating everybody. What do you mean, he said. He said, well, the shirt is sold out, the merch is sold out. And then Vince said, well, maybe they didn't make enough. He went, oh, right, okay. They didn't make enough shirts. He said, that's why my shirt sold out, because they didn't make enough. Not because we're doing really good, really. And then he said, really, you're going to give me that excuse? And this is baffling. This is just... How do you convince yourself that, oh, pal, they're just not made enough in the shop at all. We'll sort that right out. No, that's not what...
Yeah, this just screams of Vince, just, I don't want to push you, so what's an excuse now? We just didn't print very many. I mean, it's easy to sell out 5 shirts if you only print 5 shirts.
I've sold out my shirts, actually. I've done really well over the last week. All 3 of them gone. Giving them away, technically, but, you know.
It's still sold out. But yeah, I mean, Rusev Day thing was obviously mega hot. The chants and things for it when it was happening, everything about it, everybody loved. I don't know anyone who hated it. And yeah, squandered, did nothing. Yet another stupid Vince McMahon story about I don't want to push you against all odds. You'd think at this point nothing would amaze us, but this is right up there. This is just madness. There's always new ones, isn't there? Madness. Speaking of madness, I guess, Bret Hart was on his Confessions of a Hitman podcast the other day, and he was talking about a bit of an incident between Shawn Michaels and The Rock, or then Rocky Maivia. It was back in '97. It was just before Bret left for WCW, like a couple of months before. And apparently he was in the locker room, and in barged Shawn Michaels and Triple H, like they do, to confront The Rock, or Rocky Maivia, about some certain moves that he was doing in his matches. Apparently Michaels completely chewed him out and just dressed him down for having the audacity to do a flying dropkick from the top rope. Because that's bloody Shawn's move, isn't it? Can't have his spot.
Right.
Yeah, just another story about what kind of a guy Shawn Michaels was back then. Apparently they kind of like dressed him down, shouted at him for it, told him like, you better not ever do this again. Stormed off out again. And then Bret Hart went to sort of comfort The Rock afterward. He was obviously a little bit disheartened by all of this. Like one of the top guys in the company comes and runs you down for just doing a pretty simple spot that lots of people do. So yeah, Bret just told him it's complete BS. Like Owen does it all the time and they wouldn't dare say this to him about it. It's just Shawn being Shawn at that time.
Yeah, and he did all right for himself, didn't he?
Yeah, didn't he? They were okay.
Rocky Maivia. That's... like, I get it. If it's a signature, if he's doing, I don't know, he's doing Sweet Chin music or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
of course, that's one thing.
Yeah, but, God, imagine how Shawn Michaels would be nowadays, where everyone's doing super kicks. He'd be going mental. He'd just be left, right, and centre. Stop using my move! Ah! Yeah, and it's hilarious that you could just see the imagery of Owen Hart coming in going, well, I use it.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
What you gonna do, brother? No, not that guy. Yeah, so speaking of HBK, we've got more news on the Heartbreak Kid. He's apparently going to be coming back to Raw this Monday night. So I'm not sure how long it's been since he's been on Raw. It feels like it's been a while. I think he might have been maybe wrestle. I think he's been on like a video. I think it was Up to the Edge and Orton stuff. I think he popped up in one of those little vignettes. I don't know. It feels like it's been a while. But he's going to show up to talk a little bit and address the whole situation about Ric Flair, because he got punted with a bit of lighting trickery, obviously by Randy Orton last week.
Yeah.
Randy Orton, what's he like? So yeah, he's probably going to talk about that, and then Randy Orton's probably going to come into the ring and kick him in the head. That's what I see happening there. Just let me know. Yeah. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say I'd be fine with that. Like, as a way of continuing this Randy Orton thing, let's just kick Shawn Michaels in the head. Let's just not do that match again. We don't need that match again.
No, that's done. Yeah, and they'll probably kick Triple H in the head at some. Just whoever they've got, whoever they got on the back, a legend, just bring them out and little kick. And then apparently, well, there's been a bit of a tease in the same video clip thing. They were talking about potentially Rey Mysterio maybe coming back, because the video was like, oh, what will Rey Mysterio do after his son was beaten to death with a stick? So
Yeah.
if I was his dad, I'd probably turn up. I could imagine that happening. And I think Mickie James is apparently, she is going to be having an in-ring return. She's not wrestled in a very long time. I think it's about a year now.
Yeah, no idea why. Could be because she's great.
She's excellent. She's really good in the backstage segment on Raw as well. I really enjoyed her in that. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be a pretty good Raw by all accounts. A few familiar faces coming back, and Mickie James as well. Yeah,
indeed, can't go wrong. Or can you go wrong? You might be able to go wrong if you're WWE, because we've got some news about more of their testing situation. I mean, who knew if you start doing tests for the Global Bastard, you might just find the Global Bastard. So, yeah, we've already heard about tapings on August 4th. Kind of went a little bit awry when they got some positive tests back. And they sort of couldn't film 2 episodes of SmackDown back to back. And then that had like a massive knock-on effect of all their tapings. And then they had to add another taping day yesterday so that they could film SmackDown for that night. And yeah, apparently it's all down to getting more positive tests back. We have no idea how many, and we have no idea who. Obviously, they don't release these figures for obvious reasons. Yeah. But PW Insider are reporting that all of that is down to more positive tests. And I guess we'll just have to see how it goes from here with the tapings and changing storylines at last minute to fit whoever happens to be available at that time.
I know, it becomes a really horrible guessing game, doesn't it? When it happened a couple of weeks back, and I think you don't want to assume, so I'm not going to assume. I'm just going to say the people who weren't there. I think it was like Sheamus, Apollo Crews obviously didn't turn up for that, and it was a bit like
missing for a few weeks, and you're like,
Yeah, it is what it is, I guess. Like, it's the nature of this bastard right now, but it's going to be very interesting because they're moving over to that new base to start filming for a little bit. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, the Amway Centre.
That's the one, yeah.
With the new fan interaction, whatever that's going to be.
I'm so excited. For that.
I hope it's just like loads of screens around the ring with loads of different Zoom calls on.
I hope it's like, have you seen the Premier League one that they do where they've got like a big square of people, and then like every now and again like they're just blacked out, so you'll have like 4 fans in a row like and there's just missing fans, and like some people are like looking at the phones like, oh, I'm on, hey, yeah. That'd be me. I'd love that.
Fair enough. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see, but at least it shows that they are actually doing testing finally.
Yes, I mean, it's been a long time coming, really, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's it. Thank you very much for joining us. I have been Phil Chambers. You can follow me on Twitter at PhilMyChambers, and you can follow Gareth
at GMorgan04.
And you can follow all of us at WhatCulture at WhatCultureWWE. Make sure to subscribe to the video. Like I said, comment below what you think of all of today's stories. But most importantly, have yourselves a bloody good day. Goodbye, everyone.
See you later.